Hey, welcome to the Melancholy Guy, a companion podcast of my Tumblr blog, The Melancholy Guy. Daring to be open, no, did it wrong again. Daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a divorced, open, polyamorous African American male. I am the Melancholy Guy, Calvin or CPJR for those that know me. And definitely today, I believe that change I must or die I will. Welcome to another episode of my little podcast, The Melancholy Guy. And basically, this is me talking about me and my life, uh, my transformation, my conversion, whatever you want to call it, coming from being a monogamous person, going into non-monogamy, and all of the drama and um, manifestations, revelations, births that entailed. So with that, I think we'll just go get to the blog. So I'm gonna read something today, and I don't even think I have it pulled up because I had a computer crash earlier. But basically, I want to go back to where I was before, and I think I was talking about serial monogamy and work wives, and I think I got also sidetracked about talking about um, my ex and how there ain't nothing but love there. There's no hate or anything for anyone in my past. They were all wonderful people, as I said before. But I want to talk about more about where I was at the time, 7 years ago, when I started this journey after being married. I think so. 7 years ago was 2006, right? 2010, 2006. Right. So we were been married about 3 years, and basically we're at that place where things were getting very familiar, and I was starting to go through what I go through and starting to feel constrained. And I made a blog entry, and I was gonna skip over it, but because I wanted to get more to the actual, you know, juicy stuff when we started swinging and all that. And that was an interesting time to go through, but that really was actually a sidebar or a sidetrack for me. It wasn't actually the journey um, that I thought I was going to be going, that I was, that's not the way I was going, right? We actually got sidetracked into that. And I want to talk about that a little bit more, but I wanted to go back to come forward because, as I'm doing this, I'm still living life and things pop up and it will, cause me to, go off onto a tangent and deal with that. So basically, let's go back to, uh, actually, I'm wasting my little 15 minutes trying to get to the entry because I had it up, but I said I had a computer crash. Um, Almost there. So anyway, so basically, we were married, right? And things were good. I love this woman, and I thought we would be together forever. But I knew that things were, for me, starting to feel familiar. Um, so I began to write about it, and that's it. I'm here. All right. So this blog entry I'm getting ready to read is called "Now Back to Our Regularly Scheduled Program," and I say my blog is the Melancholy Guy, found at melancholyguy.tumblr.com, and I'm gonna read it and paraphrase it where I think I need to. Um, so here it goes. Marriage seems like a big deal to me. We basically promise to shut down natural processes. As men, we promise not to enjoy the sight of a beautiful woman. We agree to be chastised by the woman we love because we are basically enjoying ourselves. And I want to say that men are visual. We enjoy looking at other women. Don't deny it. It's true. Um, Not that we don't enjoy our significant others, spouse, wives, but for, cisgender, hetero male, looking at a woman, a beautiful woman who appeals to you is enjoyment, right? Not to objectify women, but it's enjoyment. Anyway, back to the blog entry. That has to be insanity, right? Why do we do it? Meeting someone and getting to know them is one of the best natural highs on earth, and we just virtually give it up. Insanity. Now, I do love the value of the deepening intimacy between my wife and I, but I also hate the boredom, the predictability, the routine, and the tension. I have had many long term relationships, and it always comes back that damn tension, longing. Maybe if I could just satisfy the longing, then there wouldn't be the tension. And that tension that I think I'm talking about, for me, it wasn't sex. It wasn't a sexual tension. It was just an emotional intimacy, a tension of getting to know other people and being able to talk to other people, women, um, people, and being able to openly share that um, with my significant other, with my wife at the time, because everyone's looking out for themselves, jealousy, security, thinking about that. So if you were to, like I said, I had a work wife, have that person that you share some time with on a daily basis, even go out on dates with, vacations with, you're going to have issues with your significant other because basically you vow to forsake all others for that person. And that, for me, was that tension, that that lie, I guess I told that I would be able to do that. And I think when I was first married, I told my wife I couldn't do it. Not even first married. When we first started dating, I said that, well, I have these friends and I don't want to give them up. And she was like, okay, cool. I guess because she lived in New York, what was she going to do? But once we got married, or as we got closer to being married, I apologize for coughing. As we got closer to being married, those relationships sort of fell to the side. I think I kept some close, but basically they all, fell to the side, were no longer important. So um, that's that tension that I'm talking about. For me, it wasn't that sexual tension. Um, mm, Sex played a little bit into it, but not overly. For me, it was that emotional intimacy that you have with other people, and then you're able to share that intimacy with other people that you're intimate with. That openness. I don't know. We in the polyamorous community or people in the polyamorous community call that like kitchen table polyamory. Being able to share everything in the group. With the people, the different connections. You just openly share and talk about things around a kitchen table. That's the intimacy that I'm talking about, and it brings about attention if you talk about someone too many times. I would say that with one of my first ex-wife, if you bring up a name of a woman 3 times, it's gonna be a problem. You can bring it up once, twice, but third time, like, why do you keep bringing her up? It could be like the most intimate thing. Well, I went to talk to her today. Went lunch to her today. Whatever it is, do not make that mistake of bringing it up a third time because you're gonna have issues. So for me, that's what was going on. Basically, I'm down to 5 minutes. I was looking for the ability to have emotional attachments, emotional intimacy outside, and also inclusive of my man relationship, and that's what got me to polyamory. And I'm running out of time. And next time I'm gonna talk about some books that I started reading at that time that actually brought me and led me more towards polyamory. And I think I want to need to talk about how we actually ended up into swinging, which was an adventure and fun. But it really taught me a lot about myself and actually what I was looking for, and actually took me a while to get back properly to where I am. And it took me down some strange places that I didn't think I would end up. So that's it for the blog today, and I'll have more on the next episode in a couple days. Of course, life. I wrote a blog entry, 2017 Musings, something like that, and I was just stating that if I had to rate this year, um, there was some good times, some bad times, but it's a transformational year. So for me, it was a good year. May not be at the best position now, but for me, it was transformational for me to get to this point that I'm actually working on a podcast, working on my building my studio or the studio. Is transformational. It wasn't there. It wasn't me having purpose of what I want to do wasn't there. I was basically trying to have relationships. I don't know. I need to investigate that more. Why I thought that was important than purpose, or why I couldn't get back to purpose. But it took last year to get there, and it took me getting here to get there. Down to 2 minutes. So I want to talk about a little bit more about the podcasting, DMV Podcaster Studio, my vision. So basically, I'm pricing it out. So basically, the idea is for me to build out my studio, so I can continue this podcast, which I'm having ideas about or having ideas about how I want to see this actually develop. The Melancholy Guy. I think um, I like it, and I think that as a format, I want to delve more into conversion stories, or how people came into either ethical non-monogamy, polyamory, or swinging, or maybe how you came about it naturally, or how you're naturally that way. Because there's a difference in the people that I know who are open to ethical non-monogamy. There's a difference, point blank. And I think it's interesting to see how people just accepted it and then moved on with that. And if they were with other partners, how they got their partners with that or into that, or how they had to end those relationships, or you know I don't know, make renegotiated their agreements. But those are interesting stories always. And if you're ever on social media, that question gets asked over and over again. I don't know how many times I had to write that for people. How did you get into polyamory? I always been this way. I just accepted it. I had this whole thing written down. So anyway, this is episode 8. This has been the Melancholy Guy. So my 15 minutes up. I'm hosted on Spreaker. Thanks to Ben Sound for the music. And guess what? Always remember to love and respect yourself first, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace. Namaste.